y'all, and welcome to my channel, Joyful Journeys. Tonight, I thought I would do just a little a talk with you guys about some things that are on my mind. And I know it's dark in here, and my makeup's about gone, but I finally got a moment alone in the house. Everyone else is in bed except for the dog, who is staring at me and walking across the floor, if you can hear him. And also, I'm not wearing my mic, so I hope you can hear me well. I'll try to speak up. But thank you again for watching. If you've already subscribed to my channel, thanks again and welcome back. And if you haven't, please like my videos and subscribe. It would help my channel out a lot. So I try to explore some new things all the time, but this time I just had things that I thought would be good to get your opinion on. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is intuition. Do you guys believe in it? Do you believe it's a real thing? That it's something that's in our head because we second guess ourselves? Or do you believe that there's something inside of us that speaks to us, that God is speaking to us, or whatever it is, higher power that you believe in? What do you think? And the reason I'm asking this question is because I discussed with you guys a while ago that I had gotten a new car, and that it had had some problems right off the bat. The transmission went out, and I was told it was going to be fixed. Well, the people that rebuilt it couldn't fix it because something about the transfer case being damaged because it got too hot. So we got a used transmission. The first one that came didn't fit, so we ordered another one. 6 weeks later it came. It did fit. After putting it in, there's been back and forth trips to the transmission shop trying to figure out why it's not working properly, why it only takes off when you put it in gear part of the time. So my thought is this: that's been going on since February. I haven't had my own car to drive. I've been driving someone else's two-seater truck out of the goodness of their heart, which I totally appreciate. But me and the family can't go anywhere together. So I feel like that maybe God is telling me that I don't need this car, that if I get it, something bad is going to happen to me or someone I love, and that is why there are continuous roadblocks in my way of getting this car. So, and if you remember, I bought a whole bunch of stuff at first to put on the car, stickers and all kind of little like solar things to put inside, but I never put it in the car because it was like I wasn't feeling it, if you get me. I just expected something bad to happen. So did I manifest this myself, or is this God speaking to me? Tell me what you think. I'd really like to know, because again, I do second guess myself. I always think, oh, you're being crazy, Melissa. Don't think that way. But I mean, here we are in June, still no car. So tell me what you think. All right. So the other thing is the Diddy trial. So if you're not interested, it's a good time to stop listening. But I do want to bring up some things that really came to my mind after watching every video. Nancy Grace, Ashley Banfield. If you guys haven't seen Tisa Tales, she's really good. The way she tells a story breaks it down for you where it's so easy to understand. She puts all the details in there, and she's so cute and just full of life. So that's TISSTELLS. If you want to check her out and give her some love. She does have some merch out too. So anyway, getting back to, I'm trying to do this just holding the phone, so I apologize. But I'm trying to get my piece of paper, so bear with me just a minute so I can go over this stuff with you. Okay, so first of all, the first thing is wrong side of the paper. Who all is involved in this? So we know Diddy, of course, a lot of celebrities, all his employees. We're starting to find out more and more that a lot of people knew what was going on. A lot of people, there's pictures and videos of those folks at the parties doing things they wouldn't want put out there. A lot of celebrities are running and hiding because they don't want any of their stuff brought to light in this case. But, so we'll wait and see what happens there. And what do you guys think the outcome is going to be? Do you think that Diddy is going to be convicted and given life in prison? What do you think? I think he will. I think there's too much against him. Too much proof of what he did. So, anyway, tell me what you think. Next thing is, why don't people get it? Why don't people understand why these women didn't come forward? They believe that they're gold diggers and just trying to make money. And of course, that may be true here and there, but I mean, think about the things that's been proven that they went through, that their bodies went through, that they went through emotionally, physically. They were assaulted in so many ways. And when you play with people's minds like that, it's hard for them to break free. It really is. And someone who has not been through that would not understand and, of course, be judgmental to those folks. So I hope that this trial will bring a better understanding of people who are involved in those kind of situations and the effect it has on their minds and their lives at the time it's happening and forever and always. There's always scars left. All right, so the next thing is, do you think Diddy's going to testify? Many people are saying yes because of his big giant ego. He's sitting up in there with a Bible and a self-help book trying to look, like he's doing better and that he cares about what's going on. But he really doesn't get it yet. He doesn't understand that people are sick and seeing him with a Bible doesn't make a bit of difference. We don't believe he's changed. I mean, okay, think about that apology he put out after the Cassie video came out. Within a few days, he was beating that other girl that they won't tell her name, Jane Doe. So, better man? No, he's not. And I'm not sure that he ever will be. He seems pretty far gone. All right, so let me see. All right, well, KK testify. KK is Christina Coram, his main assistant, who handled everything for him, knew everything that was going on. Cassie and the other women complained to her about the beatings, about the drugs, about the freak-offs, and still, she hunted them down for Diddy. She pushed, and she did everything he wanted, no matter how they felt. So she knew what was going on. And she's not on the defense's case or the prosecution's case. So what do we think that means? We think that means that she is going to be indicted as well. I mean, she's got to pay for it too. She can't just sit in the background and say, oh, well, I was working for him. No, you knew. You could have said something. And the other thing is, I think a lot of people besides her were afraid to talk and say something, even to the feds, because they didn't know what was going to happen. They knew his far reach and his power and his money. They didn't know if they said something and said, yeah, this happened to the feds when everyone was being interviewed at first. Well, maybe nothing was going to become of it, and then they would be in danger and have to go through all the stuff that they had already been dealing with. Sorry, there's a moth in here. And, yeah. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So the next thing is his children. Will he test or does he care that his children are in the courtroom hearing all this nasty stuff? I mean, none of us want to hear about our parents' personal, bedroom lives. And this is some really horrible stuff. Why would you want your kids, even your grown kids, your mother, why would you want your mother to hear all that stuff? I don't get it. It just, again, points to how sick he really seems to be. All right. So, our next point is, of course, like I said, will anyone else be indicted? Will we see any celebrities indicted? Will we see KK indicted? Will we see any of his other people that haven't already turned and testified indicted? So, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Um, So, did you guys hear that 50 Cent is doing a documentary? He's been speaking against Diddy for years, as well as Cat Williams, the comedian, um, who was in the movie Next Friday. He played Money Mike. So funny. But they've all said that they had to get away from that lifestyle because they didn't go along with what was going on behind the scenes. And they always said that Diddy was up to no good and no one listened. So now 50's doing a documentary that will come out after the trial. I think it's called Did He Did It or Did He Do It or I'm not sure what. But I can't wait to see that. Like I said, it's going to be on Netflix. It's already been, you know, accepted by Netflix and will be coming up. So that will be so interesting to see. Um, Also, there is a girl on the internet who claims that she went to a Diddy party and she was forced to they tried to force her to drink, but somehow she got out of there. She did go inside. She did check out what was going on in there, and she mentioned that there were children. There were little children in the room with other people doing all that nasty stuff, dressed up as Harlequin clowns. So wonder what they were there for. I can't wait to hear what they pin on this man. I mean, children with all that going around, besides if they weren't there for anything nefarious, it was already nefarious that they were there with a porno movie going on around them. So if you get a chance, check her out. I can't remember her name, but she got hooked up with Diddy through a prince, and she does have a video on YouTube. So if you get a chance, watch that one. Um, so let's see. Well, I wanted to mention one of his first demands whenever the trial started. He knew that Cassie was pregnant, very pregnant, and he thought that, the jury would feel sorry for her if they saw her big pregnant belly. So he requested that she come and be seated before the jury was seated so they couldn't see her walk in with that belly. Oh, wow. I mean, come on, dude. After all the things you did, do you think that particular fact is going to make a big difference? No, no. What you already did is enough. All right. So we've talked about why didn't people talk? Okay, so they've also proven that all his employees, as well as these girls that they thought they had a relationship with him, and they were his girlfriend, and Cassie, who did have a relationship with him, carried drugs for him because he requested them when he was getting on his plane or when he was going to a hotel night or king night or free golf or whatever he called it that day. Always needed the drugs. And I've learned something new. I mean, I'm from the 80s. I've heard about all the drugs. You know, we've been there. But pink cocaine, and it's not really cocaine. It's a mixture of like ketamine and ecstasy and date rape drugs like GHB. And they would dissolve this in people's drinks and also in the baby oil. So people, how could they claim that they really knew what they were doing if this was going on? He was controlling people with drugs. And they found all these drugs in his safe, in all his houses, everywhere. They've got text messages of him buying drugs, by the way, with company money, and paying for prostitutes with company money and company credit cards, receipts, everything, proving all of this. So we're going to see what happens, right? All right. So let me see. Also, how many rifles did they find? AR-15 rifles, gun magazines, pistols, everything you can think of. They even found a rubber duck with the baby oil and the Astroglide. And so all those things are going to prove that he was involved in racketeering and extortion and trafficking. And also, let's not forget the extortion of Cassie's parents, that he was going to release a tape of their daughter doing these freak offs, and they had to pay him $20,000. So they mortgaged their house, they pay him the 20 grand, and within a few days he sends it back because he just wanted to prove, I guess, that he had the power to get it done. So, I mean, this guy's crazy. And he's drunk with power. And he thinks he's a god and a king. So I hope that he will be brought to his knees. And he will find out what he's really done to people. I hope one day he will really know and understand. But I don't think so. Again, I think he's too far gone. So you guys that are from the 80s know that back then there was a lot of young girls having one night stands with musicians. They called them groupies back then. But these girls have contracts. They called them love contracts, where they would show up and sometimes have 4 escorts at one time for hours and hours and hours. And yeah, he paid their bills, but if he didn't do it, if they didn't do what he said, they didn't want to do his hotel night, or they didn't want to show up whenever he was ready, then there was hell to pay. And he made sure of it. All right, so I wrote down a few things here that I wanted to tell you about. And talking about the people who are linked, their names are linked to Diddy as far as their deaths. So the first one is his first mentor, Andre Harrell. He worked for him. I didn't write down what company it was he worked with. He worked with Andre, and then he had a big difference of opinion about how to handle things. He brought in Mary J. Blige and some other people, and made stars out of them. But then he got fired, and it says, this is Diddy's quote: "So I got fired because there can't be two kings in a castle. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to Andre, but I was fighting so hard." And that's what he said to Oprah. It was 1993 when he got fired at the company, and he was working there when he was 20. So that's the first person, all right? This guy died of heart failure, all right? So I'm going to elaborate on that in a minute. The second person is Kim Porter, who was the mother of his children. I'm pretty sure they were married, but I'm not completely sure. Kim supposedly wrote a book before she died, a tell-all. Diddy says it's not real. Other people say it is. I don't know. But there is a chick on YouTube that reads you the book. I don't know where it came from. But it's pretty telling, and the way it's written, sounds pretty authentic to me. And a lot of the details ring true now that we are hearing the stuff from this trial. So if you get a chance, listen to that. Again, I don't know if it's for real, but you can make your own decision, all right? Uh, let's see. Um, all right, so Kim Porter. She was a 45-year-old woman, I think, maybe. And she died of pneumonia. She wasn't sick, but she died of pneumonia. All right. So then there's Brittany Murphy, young girl. You remember her from Girl Interrupted. And was she in Clueless? I don't know. She was in a lot of movies. And I thought she was a great actress. She was also one of the voices of King of the Hill, if you watch that show. But she mysteriously died of pneumonia. And there was something to do with her and Diddy and Ashton Kutcher. And Ashton Kutcher's been brought up a lot too when it comes to Diddy because they were friends, and he's spoken on TV publicly several times saying, "Oh, there's a lot I can't tell about the Diddy party. Oh no, I can't tell that either." So, all right, so there's Brittany, and then a few months later, her husband Simon Newjack, I think was his name, he dies of pneumonia. All right, these are young people. Young people died of pneumonia. All right, so those are the folks that died of pneumonia. And then Sean Combs, Diddy, has been linked to Tupac's shooting. Says he paid the guy $1 million to do it. The guy's been saying that since he got arrested. And Biggie Smalls, it is said that he wasn't directly involved in that shooting, but he told the people that wanted to take him out, "Well, you go ahead. I'm not protecting him anymore. He's trying to go over to the other label, so whatever happens, happens." And I've also read that he set Biggie up with his wife, Faith Evans, and they had a child together. And evidently, she owed him something too. So, will we find out that story? I don't know. I think there's a lot we're going to find out in the future. It's going to be very salacious, is the word I can think of. All right. But besides that, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to read. It also has been mentioned that somehow Diddy might be involved with the Whitney Houston death because Ray J, who is one of Diddy's friends, was hanging out with Whitney the night before she was found. All right, and Ray J is a huge Diddy supporter. He's been on Nancy Grace and several other shows talking about he don't think that Diddy's going to be convicted, that, well, maybe he was a bad boyfriend, but he's not going to be convicted of racketeering and extortion and trafficking. So, and Ray J, by the way, is Brandy, if you guys remember Brandy from TV, and she also had music out at one time. That is her brother. And so let me read my notes here. Ray J considers Diddy a mentor, says he's been at many parties, spoke out for Diddy, and says Diddy will be exonerated. Says he loves Diddy's family, and he's so worried about how this is going to affect him or affect them. He was also Kim Kardashian's husband at one time, who we know was Kanye West's wife at one time, and Kanye's been showing up in court in support of Diddy. So, again, what a tangled web we weave, right? All right, so he's also been talking with Harvey Levin from TMZ. If you haven't watched any Harvey Levin on Peacock, on Friday nights, they have a new episode that breaks everything down for the week. But I do watch the stuff daily. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that because I think it's so crazy. I think it's so sad of all the things that happened and how long it was allowed to go on. I mean, it's really tragic is the only word I can think of. Really tragic. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I hope you give me some comments back on both subjects. I'm really interested to know what you think about intuition because I believe in it. I believe it's true. I've had feelings before and I have listened and I haven't listened, and sometimes I'm looking back saying, man, something told me I shouldn't have done that. Right? So anyway, thanks for watching. Give me your time. Sorry I look so rough. I'm looking at this camera going, oh my God. But anyway, have a good night. Sweet dreams. Thanks for coming. See you next time.